Here comes the second part. If you closely look at the working of both the arms, you will get to see that my semi-autonomous robotic arm works in a way much similar to the real industrial robotic arm. That comparison is actually to give you an insight about this arm's advantages and reliability in the real physical world. Just like a real industrial robotic arm, this arm can also follow circular trajectories in space autonomously, both in the clockwise and anti-clockwise sense. Only thing that we humans need to do is to assign the values of the center's coordinates and the radius of the circle, and that's it. If you closely look at the working of both the arms, you will get to see that both the arms trace outer circumference, and then both of them shifted from outer circle to the inner circle, and finally both the robotic arms trace the inner circumference. To know more about its advantages and reliability, let's make the task even more complex. Now we have multiple circles in both the cases. Just look at the working of both the robotic arms, as it's pretty cool to see them working much in a very similar way. This robotic arm uses inverse kinematics to reach any given point in space, and then it uses the combination of mechanics and maths to plan its own trajectory or the path, just like the real industrial robotic arms do. Now, to prove that this arm can function for any general case, let's change the centers and the radii of both the circles. So no matter where the centers lie, no matter what the radius is, and no matter what the numbers are, this robotic arm will always trace the circular trajectories all on its own. Only thing that we humans need to do is to assign the values of the center's coordinates, the radius, and the number of revolutions, and nothing more than that. Well, in this case, I need to freeze the time. ABCD is a rectangular curve which is the upward projection of the multimeter's surface parallel to the XY plane. I will describe the entire motion in a few moments. As of now, you just closely look at the working of both the robotic arms. So now I hope that after comparing the working of my robotic arm with the actual industrial robotic arm, you know the reason why I am performing these motions. In short, these motions and the trajectory planning capabilities of the robotic arm has got infinite number of applications in the industries, as you just saw moments before. And to execute these motions, all that we need to do is to assign the values of the coordinates of the vertices. Knowing the coordinates, the arm automatically will go to one of the vertices using the inverse kinematics, and then using trajectory planning, it will start tracing the curve both in the clockwise and anti-clockwise sense autonomously. Apart from the coordinates of the vertices, we can also assign the number of revolutions that we want to execute. And the best part is that the coordinates of these points, that is A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash, can take any values, provided that these values lie in the workspace of the robotic arm. Even if we change the position, that is the coordinates, the arm will trace the new curve on its own, which makes it even more reliable. Now as you can see, the new points are A double dash, B double dash and so on. Now using the inverse kinematics, the arm gets to the new point D double dash, and then it starts tracing the new rectangular curve in clockwise sense, and then it retraces the curve in the anti-clockwise sense. After one complete revolution, the arm uses inverse kinematics to reach another vertex B double dash, and then it starts tracing the curve in both clockwise sense and anti-clockwise sense. After the one complete revolution, the arm once again uses inverse kinematics to reach the third vertex, that is point A double dash, and then it repeats the same thing, that is it traces the rectangular curve in both clockwise and anti-clockwise sense. Apart from these motions, you can use this robotic arm to get some of your boring works done. Something like this making of a batter by following 3 simple steps. Step 1. Simply assign the center, radius and the number of revolutions. And then step 2, you can just go and enjoy your life living these boring works on the robots to do. It will definitely do it for free. And finally, the third step, which I guess you all know, what do I mean? Well, coming to the point, the 3 links execute angular oscillations about their respective axis of rotation in a vertical plane, which itself performs another angular oscillations about the z-axis, and these angular oscillations are constrained in a way that the position vector Rp does 2 types of oscillation, one angular and the other linear oscillation, resulting in the circular trajectory.